If someone had told me that my husband would one day offer me like suya meat to another man, I would have laughed loudly. Back then, Dio was my dream man, tall, charming, and full of fire. We met during a church youth seminar at Surulere. He led prayer like a warrior and danced like David. I mentored. He was jobless but full of plans. Babe, I will be a tech giant one day, he used to say. And I believed him like I believed palm oil stain could wash off from white clothes. I married him with my whole chest. Family complained, but I said love conquers all. We moved to Lagos Island after wedding. I got a front desk job at an oil servicing firm in Victoria Island. My salary wasn't loud, but it was fair enough to take care of our needs, fuels, and small dreams. Dio kept chasing his tech destiny, from crypto to dropshipping to one YouTube channel that only got 13 views, including mine. See, I stayed. I prayed. I even borrowed him money from my mom. But I didn't tell him it was from my mom. I told him it was for my office allowance. But one Tuesday evening, everything changed. I walked into our flat and saw Dio smiling like someone just credited him 2 million. My heart danced. Maybe God had answered us. I don't know, it was the devil that picked that day to show himself. Babe, you won't believe what I heard today, Dio said, still smiling like a goat that found ripe plantain peel. He even poured himself juice into our wedding wine glass. I just stood there, handbag still on my shoulder. Do you know that your Oga, Mr. Bambo, say? He asked. I blinked. My MD? He nodded. Yes, the one with the bald head and big belly. He likes you. That kind of like. My heart skipped. Dio, what are you talking about? He laughed and sat down on the chair. I heard from one of his PAs. That man is ready to promote you to HRO manager if you just play your card well. I squinted. What card? He raised his brows and leaned forward. Baby, come on. You are smart. Just give the man some attention. Smile more. Be nice, you know? I dropped my bag. You want me to sleep with him? He stood up. Don't make it sound somehow. Think of the future. This is a small sacrifice. That night, I lay beside him in silence while he snored like a diesel generator. Me, the same girl he once called his crown. The next morning, I barely said a word at work. My mind was doing jumping jack. Then it happened. Adanna, please see me in my office. Mr. Bambo said, smiling like a lizard that just swallowed a fly. I walked in, heart thumping. He looked me up and down and said, I hear you are willing to be a team player. I froze. So Dio had gone to tell him, my own husband? I always support the team, I said, forcing a smile. He handed me a fancy card. Come to this address tonight. We will discuss your future. I walked out, entered the ladies' toilet, locked the door, and cried like my mother just died. That evening, I dressed in a red gown and heels, not because I wanted to, but because I had a plan. Not only did I carry a purse that matches my shoes, inside that purse was a small voice recorder. And in the car outside, my cousin Ify, the queen of online Wahala, with her laptop. That night was not just a night of date with this man or dinner. It was evidence night. The receptionist smiled at me like she knew my mission. I smiled back, if only she knew the real gist. Room 308. I took a deep breath and knocked twice. He opens the door in a towel. Nonsense man. You look amazing, he said. Come in, Adanna. I stepped in like a Nollywood spy. Calm, calm face, but a boiling heart. He poured wine and dimmed the light. Let's be adults, he said. You help me, I help you. Dio is smart. Not every man allows this. Boom, I press record. Then I ask, if it were your daughter, would you want her in this situation? He blinked. What kind of a question is that? The kind that make predators sweat, I said and stood up. Before he could move, I pulled out my phone and played the recording out loud. His face dropped. Are you mad? You recorded me? Oh, my cousin is live streaming this from the car. I ran out before his towel could fall off and jump into Ife's car. Post it, I said. By the time we reached Third Mainland Bridge, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok has exploded. I woke up in Ife's house with puff eyes and a trending name. Hashtag Adanna the Queen. Hashtag Sakpa wife turned spy. Hashtag Bam Bose Gates. By noon, the company HR sent a memo. Mr. Bambose was placed on suspension pending investigation. People in the office looked at me with a mist of fear and respect. Then came Dayo. He stormed into Ife's compound like one that had been sitting inside a cup of beer since morning. You have ruined me, he shouted. Do you know who that man is? I stood on the balcony, sipping a glass of wine. Do you know who I am? I replied. He started shouting again, saying I was dramatic, disrespectful, ungrateful. Ungrateful? For what? For being auctioned off like crayfish? I told him to leave. He said no, so I left. I packed my bags, blocked his number, and moved into Ife's spare room. 2 weeks later, my company offered me a transfer to Abuja branch. With a promotion, no red gown needed, no husband attached. Abuja was a breath of fresh air, literally. No generator noise, no dial, just me, my new position as HR manager, and a clean start. My new apartment was painted white and peaceful, well furnished with AC. Work was smoother. Nobody called me fine girl with side eyes. I was seen for my brain, not my body. If he kept updating me on the Lagos drama, Bangbose has resigned quietly. She tested. Dayo is forming motivational speaker on Facebook and Instagram. One day, she sent me a screenshot. Dayo's post. Never trust a woman who owns a ring light. I laughed so hard, I almost spilled my cereal. Soon, my auntie in Enugu called. Adanna, is it true you left your husband and disgraced your company? I smiled. Auntie, I left my husband. The company promoted me. She hissed and hung up. Then came some Facebook messages from my old classmates, those whom I have not spoken to in years. One said, Babe, you get mine though. Adanna, is it true you disgraced your husband for fame? One of them said, Sha don't forget us when you become Nollywood's actress. I didn't reply. I just focused on healing and shopping because what's heartbreak without new wigs? One day, Dayo showed up in Abuja with his excuses and big bags of I am sorry. He called Ify, but she blocked him. He sent an email to me. I deleted it. Then one day, I found him outside my office gate with a placard. Ada, Please forgive me. People gathered. One Okada man asked, Naskit? I walked past him like I didn't know him. But as I entered the building, I laughed so hard. The security guy joined me. Later that day, Dayo sent me a voice note crying. I saved it as a humorous relief. Weeks passed. One afternoon, Ify called me laughing, and she said, Guess what? I asked her what it was, and she said, Bango She now runs a barbing salon in mainland. He called it Fresh Starts Barbing Salon. I nearly choked on my smoothie. And Dayo, I asked, he is not doing a relationship advice on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. He wears native and said that women should be submissive. Then I asked, to who? Their traffickers? We both screamed with laughter. For once, the air around me wasn't heavy with regret. I wasn't bitter, just better. Better weeks, better job, better peace, and definitely better taste. One Sunday, I stood in church during testimony time. I raised my hand. My name is Adanna. I want to thank God for promotion, peace, and for showing me that losing a man doesn't mean losing yourself. The church clapped. A woman beside me whispered, "Na you wey expose that chief for internet?" I nodded. She winked. God bless you. As I sat down, I looked around at the calm faces. Nobody knew the full story. They didn't need to. I had walked through fire and come out in lace and heels. Moral lessons of this story. Don't let love cost you your dignity. Marriage is not slavery. If someone offers you like puff puff for their selfish gain, walk away. You are not for sale. I lost a husband, but I found my voice. And trust me, I have never been louder. If this story shocked you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe now and turn on the bell so you never miss a story that speaks the truth so loud. Drop a comment. What would you have done if you were Adanna? Thank you for watching Folktale by Chinelo.